Good afternoon. I'm Alex Corradetti. A campaign staffer for Republican Congressman Rodney Davis was arrested and charged with aggravated assault.
That's a hate crime.
Sir, can you please go?
It happened last night in Springfield, and you might be wondering who this man is. His name is Levi Lovell. Springfield police took him into custody after he crashed a fundraiser event for Davis's Democratic opponent, Betsy Dirksen-Londrigan. Video shows Lovell chasing Dirksen-Londrigan and her husband around the bar at J.P. Kelly's. This while he attempted to ask menacing questions and record them on his cell phone. In a statement, Davis's campaign manager, Matt Butcher, said, quote, "As soon as I was made aware of this incident, his employment was immediately terminated. This campaign has a zero-tolerance policy for harassment or violence of any kind," end quote. And new at noon for you here today. Danville police arrested a man after he robbed a McDonald's. It happened yesterday, close to midnight. It was at the McDonald's in the 100 block of North Bowman Avenue there. Police say that Cameron Creamer went into the restaurant and went up to the counter demanding money. An employee said Creamer had something shiny in his hand while he was pointing at her, and then he ran away. Police found him near Bowman and Harvey Street soon thereafter. They say he had an undisclosed amount of cash and a silver-colored knife. Creamer is currently at the Danville Public Safety Building on charges of armed robbery and obstructing justice. And Posodum has lost a critical community member. 46-year-old Charles Chaz McCrone died in I-74 crash on Tuesday. He was a village board member and captain of the fire department there. State police say he was in a work van that rear-ended a semi that was slowing for traffic. The interstate was shut down for 4 hours while that scene was cleared. And former Vice President Joe Biden canceled the scheduled appearance this week in Illinois. Democrats say Biden is sick and following doctors' orders not to travel. The 75-year-old was slated to be the keynote speaker for the Illinois Democrats County Chairs Association brunch. A spokesperson says that Biden is under the weather and will be fine in just a few days. Biden has been traveling across the country campaigning for Democrats just ahead of November's midterm elections. There's also some speculation he will run for president in 2020. And freshmen who started their first day of high school at Central are in for a new era. They walked in to see fresh construction on the building. They'll be able to see the new and improved completed Central High School by the time they graduate. The school's renovation is the most drawn-out project of all of the district's projects. Beginning phases just started and work will not be done until summer of 2022. Parents and students got to see prep work today. The first phases of construction start this fall. Now, with the buildings being knocked down and work on a brand new gymnasium happening as well. In Urbana, Dr. Martin Luther King Elementary School is getting 2 new pre-K classrooms. It's all thanks to a grant from the State Board of Education and several departments there. Preschool programs in some districts were in jeopardy of closing. That's because of a lack of funding. $20 million was scraped together to keep that from happening. And Student Syndicators started their very first day yesterday. Administrators plan on making this year different than previous. They have a new 5-year plan to improve the quality of education. They'll focus on safety and developing new approaches to student discipline. And a survey of 12,000 U of I students found 1/3 don't know what happens after they file a sexual assault report. Results show most students feel the school makes actual issues seriously, but not all of them know where to go for help. The executive director of Races in Urbana says state laws can help anyone in need of medical attention.
No one has to report. They can even get medical care at the hospital and nothing gets reported. So they should be comfortable getting the medical care they need without worrying that someone will take it farther than they want to go.
Now, those who do get medical testing have 7 days to decide whether to go forward with the case or not. Law enforcement or counseling services can never force you to file a report. And the Champaign County Board approved a budget to keep the nursing home running until it's officially sold. It'll cost $4.5 million to run through the end of the year. The board approved the sale of the nursing home back in May. It was sold to Extended Care, Clinical, and Altitude Health Services. The reason they're just now approving the budget is because they only passed a 6-month budget earlier this year. That was just in case the home was sold or closed by the end of the year.
This is money that if we had passed a full year budget, they would have had in their budget. So this was planned. This was what the county board intended to do, but it was all part of the process of the sale of the nursing home.
The The board is expected to officially approve the budget plan at a meeting next Thursday. The sale of the home is expected to become final on October 31st. And here's an update for you from Channel 3 here. The utility company, which supplies Oakwood's water, says issues with it should be fixed by the end of this month. Now, for weeks, people have said the tap water tasted like it came from a pond. It's safe and there is no boil order. But Utilities Incorporated says it was making modifications that at its plant when received the wrong parts for filtration. Crews repaired one of the 2 treatment lines and plan to repair the second on Monday. Construction should be done by August 24th. The company says the water should taste clean after that, but they're giving out more water bottles next week. Smoke and haze are crossing the country from California's wildfires. A U of I professor says there's smoke in the atmosphere. And while we're in a pocket right now because of the clouds, the smoke is expected to return in just a few days, but it shouldn't affect your health.
None of that smoke is down near the surface in the lowest few thousand feet of the atmosphere. It's all several thousand feet above our heads, so all it might do is provide us with some nice sunsets. Not today because it's cloudy, but hopefully in the near future.
A dust layer in the atmosphere is coming all the way from the Sahara Desert. Now, while it's common in Florida, it's not usually seen here. Sunset should be redder, but it shouldn't affect your health as well. And a local group is rebuilding a community center after a massive fire burned through part of it earlier this year. Now, the fire happened on May 9th in Gilman at North Central and 2nd. It destroyed the old lumberyard building, and the smoke carried over to the garage community next door. As WCIA3's Jennifer Jensen shows us, the repairs were more expensive than they thought.
Finally, I got a phone call saying that you got to get down here because the fire did go through the roof.
Back in May, people in Gilman watched as flames burned through a downtown building. Wind carried the fire over to the garage community center. They had to close because of it. When
I got here, it really hit me hard. I fell to the ground crying, and it's because it meant a lot to me. Knowing these kids, you know, this is for the kids, you know.
For years, this was a place kids could come to have pizza nights, play games, and just hang out in a safe spot.
It keeps them out of trouble, it keeps them off the streets, and it gives them to some place to be.
Every Friday, they would open their garage door to let kids in.
I like this place because it's a good place to hang out with your friends.
They closed for about 3 months. It was devastating for people who cared about this place. The repairs cost around $80,000, and they didn't have enough money. But discouragement would only last for a little while.
We had enough insurance to cover everything, and plus we'll have extra to do get extra things fixed.
They're getting more games, installing a new garage door entrance, tearing out walls, and repainting. And the kids are helping out.
I painted like all the blue columns and everything, and I helped with the walls and clearing all the stuff, everything out of here.
They still have a lot of work to do, but at the end of the summer, this place will reopen, and the kids can't wait.
Yeah, I really missed it.
And neither can the adults.
It's getting more exciting because more construction we get done, more excited I'm going to be about getting this doors back open for the kids.
Earlier this year, the community garage got a grant of about $14,000 to replace all of the lights. They hadn't started installation before that fire started. The grand reopening is Saturday, September 8th at noon. Everyone is invited. But if you're looking for something fun to do this weekend, there's a course, the Taste of Champaign-Urbana in Westside Park. But also you can head over to Weldon. They're having their annual Homecoming Festival celebration. This is their 11th year. A shortage of volunteers stopped the event, but there will be a tractor pull, a car show, bouncy houses, bingo, and more. There's a live music featuring Bad Medicine from Monticello. The fun starts at 9 a.m. on Saturday. Coming up on WCIA3 News at noon, we're saying goodbye to the Queen of Soul. That's coming up in our national news headlines.